Ashish, I'd like to ask you about one of your great taglines, which is, "We don't tell stories better, we tell better stories." Would you tell us about the etymology of that and what it means to Big Five?
I was just sharing this with somebody, with a friend. I was just asking him because he was asking me, he said, how did that come about? And I said, when somebody has a mediocre trip, he goes, how? I goes, when they come home and say, oh, the trip was fantastic. He goes, what are you talking about? I said, if somebody comes home, oh, it was fantastic. It means the experience is mediocre. It means they could put into words what they experienced. And if they can put into words what they experienced, then I haven't done my job right. Neither are my people on ground. When somebody comes home and they can't find the words, that's that's how you tell a better story. So when we tell people that, you know, anybody can tell a story well. So we don't tell stories better because that story's been written 10,000 times. And it's just insert a different adjective. The lion is majestic. Now it's beautiful. Now it's wonderful. Now it's large. Now it's rare. Now it's exotic. Now it's okay. Versus telling a better story means a whole new story that is being crafted up just for you. So when you come home from a safari, it's not, hey, I saw the herds and the migration and everything else. It's, I was out with Joseph up in the Kalama Conservancy, and he spotted this hyena or he spotted this leopard from miles and miles away. I don't know how he spotted it. And we were able to get there and he saw it and he was able to tell me how his family was tracking leopard movements and lion movements with the footprints and the elephants and whatnot. Or I was in Peru and I met this guy, Chris, and he's a rhythm guitarist for a rock band. So while we're looking at Machu Picchu and everything else, I'm into music as well. And he started telling me the story about which chord on the guitar is the best, and then tied it into why that is guitars are a major part of the ancestry. Those are the types of stories where the story doesn't just involve what I've seen, what I've witnessed, where I've been. The story involves what I felt, right? And that's the biggest part. If you feel something strong in a particular trip, you won't find the words. It will take you some time. And what's great is 2 years later, 3 years later, 10 years later, that story is still the same way and it still connects you the exact same way.
Well, I want to add to that because one of the things we say is we help you experience your destination like a local. There are a
Right.
couple things you can't do DIY. You can't self VIP, and you
Right.
can't take these experiences that if you're not an expert in travel like ourselves, you're not going to be able to find those opportunities. And when we together work on something for a client and we send them to that destination, you may have sent 500 people to Peru in the past XYZ number of months.
That's right.
That is so powerful to know exactly what's going on right now. Even the best advisors would say, you picked Africa. I've been to Africa on safari twice. One of the
Mm-hmm.
most incredible experiences of my life. But I went in 2004 and 2012. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
those are still the hotels. I
That's
don't
right.
know. I don't know anymore. But I know who knows. You guys know.
Yeah.
So you use your on the ground suppliers. You use your destination specialists. It's powerful. I just wanted to add to that.
Yeah, no, it was spot on, and that's something you and I have talked about, and we talked about this actually, several times. So we actually had, you think about this, right? So if imagine you have a guest that goes to Peru, and we've had this happen, right? So you have a guest that goes to Peru, and they go to the northern part of Peru, and they get to see the mummy from the Chacha Empire in Lima Bamba, northern Peru. And then that same person goes to Egypt and goes into either the Fayum Oasis or into Alexandria or into places where you start seeing how the Romans were catacombing their mummies after, when they sacked Egypt, Pharaonic Egypt. Now, all of a sudden, that same person walks into the Field Museum 2 years later, walks into the Mummies Museum in the Field Mummies Room in the Field Museum in Chicago. Side by side, a theory floated in front of him that perhaps the Romans learned how to mummify from the Peruvians and not from the Egyptians, like we had thought all these years. Now, that same person, all of a sudden, that same trip, as you said, 2004, 2012, they could have seen that exhibit in 2020, and it changed narrative completely on what they think to be true and what they believe to be true because of what they've just seen. So the right type of experience is one that never stops talking to you. The right type of story, the better story is one that never stops talking to you even 20 years later. It never stops talking to you. One where you see something that you weren't expecting to see, and it takes you back to that moment where you have to scratch your head and go, maybe what I believe to be true and what I've been taught to be true for the last however many years, maybe that's not really what happened. How do I challenge my intellect to go read, research, find, and educate myself and keep learning, right? That's the key.